Mr. Herring. So, about that consultation. That was quite something, wasn't it? I mean, you really caught Dr. Norberg by surprise. His current theory is the hallucination you've been having in the daytime might be the amalgamation of your entire horrific experience on that island. But it could be just a byproduct of the other hallucinations. Or it could be something else. On the other hand, your memory recovery is phenomenal! The amount of recovered memories is rapidly increasing. If we keep up the good pace, we might be able to check you out in about 2 days. So promise me that you won't give up and will continue the tough road to recovery. So, do you promise?
Yeah, promise.
Oh, that's wonderful! I knew I could count on you. And by the way, we did try to fix that damaged lamp, but once we plugged it in, it blew out the fuses to the house. So there's no difference. Info panel and I run on batteries. As for the light source, you still have a flashlight, which should help you get through the night. Just remember that it's on batteries. This will be your last night here. This really isn't an optimal location for you anymore. And since the hallucinations are getting more serious, we decided to scramble together our funds and transfer you to a rehabilitation. Nice for you there. Okay, I'll leave you to it, Mr. Herring. Night-night. Fear from the unknown comes from the darkness. Kill it with light. Hey, Mr. Herring. So, about that consultation. That was quite something, wasn't it? I mean, you... Fine. Fear from the unknown comes from the darkness. Kill it with light.
So Ethan and Daisy are behind it all. I need to contact a station on an outpost to call for help. There's gotta be some long-range radio equipment on this island. Well, the long-range radio is here. But some of the parts are burned to shit. Damn it. What do I do now? Huh. That might be Mark's radio.
John, please listen. It's all over. You don't have to be afraid of us anymore. We aren't going to hurt you. Our main goal is done here.
Keep lying, Ethan. Both you and Daisy have done a really good job of it so far.
Listen, Daisy and I are both assigned for two things here. Eliminate the people who are dangerous to Revival, and test a drug. That's it. That's the truth. The test drug, that didn't go as planned, of course, but the people who needed to be gone are gone. And you were supposed to be kept alive for later examination.
Oh, so all I am to you is a lab rat. And what happens when I'm no longer needed for this examination? Failed experiments are usually disposed of when they are no longer needed. And what if you and Daisy had succeeded in drugging me? What if the drug killed me, or drove me mad? You probably would have had to kill me.
John...
I witnessed 3 people die right in front of my eyes, and my own life was put at risk. After going through something like that, do you really expect me to trust you?
Your life was never put at risk, John. There was no gas in that cottage. It was just a game to keep you occupied, while Tom was suffocating in his cottage. I told Daisy, let's just end Tom in his sleep. But she really insisted on playing that sick, sadistic game instead. Something is clearly wrong with her, John. That's why you mustn't cause any more trouble.
Sure. I'll be a loyal minion of Revival, and not cause any trouble.
Listen, if you'll do anything stupid, or put the company at risk, we'll have no choice but to...
Yeah. You'll do this, or you'll do that. I'm sick of your lies and games. Good luck, Ethan. Have fun with Daisy. God. I do hope that my signal can reach someone. Anyone out there. Need to make sure that Revival doesn't intercept it. But before I do that, I need to get this radio equipment working first. The underground facility. That's it. I remember reading about this island. They had a lab in plain sight when the island was still a vacation resort. This radio might have come from the facility in the first place. I bet there might be some spare parts for it laying around there. It's worth a shot. This might unlock the pathway to the underground facility. The power is out. I should try to restore it somehow.
My name is Michael O'Carell. I was a psychological researcher here at Revival's RL-95 Human Reconditioning Center. Why in the past tense? Because when you'll be reading these pages, I will already be gone. To be frank, the probability of someone picking up these papers someday is very meager. Most likely that day will never come, and these pages will rot away along with this foul facility. My hope is that someday these pages will be found by someone, but if not, well, at least writing these pages will help me to face this harsh reality and come to some sort of closure. Right before the end, I had to leave something behind, anything, to prove that I existed and to document what really happened here. If by any chance you're actually reading this, well, you made writing these more worth it. If you've cared enough to read this one, my last wish is that you'll find the remaining pages as well, which are scattered throughout the facility. Hopefully, at least some of them will survive long enough. Thank you, and good luck on your search for the other pages.
support system online.
There we go. That should unlock those motorized door locks. Now I could go look for those radio parts. What the hell? I should keep it quiet. What the hell? I should keep it quiet.
Perhaps the best way to explain this cursed situation is to start with the Social Integration Project. It was our duty as scientists to find a cure for the poor souls that were afflicted by severe mental illness and to nurture them back into society. I always used to be against using humans as experimental test subjects, but this was different. It had a promise of a bright future for curing mental illness. However, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. By injecting a series of our newly created drugs into the patients, our hope was to completely erase any signs of mental illness by resetting their psyche. As you might have noticed, the land above us had a secret purpose, which was to act as the final testing ground for integrating our cured patients back into society. After many tests and drug injections later, our first patient was ready to be sent to the surface. To me, he seemed like a normal, happy, genuine person, but if that would have been the case, well, I wouldn't be sitting here in my last moments writing these pages. reports indicated that everything was going as planned. Despite the early success, eventually we received a distress transmission from our observer that our patient had apparently snapped due to an unknown reason, returning him to his horrid mental state. I can only wonder at what caused it. Either something must have provoked a traumatizing memory in the patient's subconscious, or it had to do with our drugs. Shortly after, our underground facility was locked down as part of Revival's emergency protocol. The last thing we were told was to await further instruction from Revival. After a few days of radio silence, we started to question whether someone would ever come for us.
Lockdown status has been lifted. Await further instructions from the base, or refer to the RSRP.
Someone just entered the facility.
Each day felt like an eternity. I imagine this is what prison feels like, but worse. There were only 4 staff members and 6 patients. Our supplies were dwindling rapidly, and patients' conditions weren't getting any better either. The team of scientists I had once known quickly turned hostile towards each other. Fights over rations broke out, and uncertainty about the patients grew stronger every day. Unfortunately, they showed no signs of progress. In fact, many were regressing. Their future would rest upon what the group was willing to sacrifice for them. With attrition starting to set in, we had to determine a course of action to ensure long-term survival. As far as what had been going on up on the surface, I'm pretty sure the police had investigated the island at some point, but most likely Revival cooperated with the government to cover up their dirty deeds. Bastards. They were the ones who cast us into this awful nightmare. Now, in the 11th hour, in this grim situation, it was up to me to find a way to lead our broken group out of this misery.
Post-emergency protocol active. Current situation classified as normal. classified as B2 by the RN-STAR protocol.
What the current situation led to is something that will haunt me till my last breath. In order to keep the remaining staff alive, a tough decision had to be made. The biggest problem was the patients. They were draining our already minuscule resources with worsening mental conditions. It was dangerous to keep them alive. It became clear that they had to die. I hated that conclusion. It was morally wrong for me to decide who should live or who should die. But the odds were against them, and there was no other way. I fought for a quick and tortureless death for them. But no one was able to muster the courage to kill the patients directly. So, we sealed off the cell rooms, took their rations for ourselves, and left them to die. I'll never forget how the patients screamed and cried for help in the most horrific, deeply unsettling ways. 3 days after locking them in, I could hear them scraping, banging, and breaking things in their cells. Listening to that made me feel like my skin was peeling off my bones, and I couldn't sleep for weeks. This lasted 15 days. And then it faded away. We had gained supplies that would last us a while, but couldn't look at anyone in the eyes anymore. Then it was just us four left.
Detected. Electronic systems are at risk of moisture damage.
That's the last one. Time to get the hell out of here.
Well, I guess no one will be coming after all. This is the 6th and final page I will leave. My colleagues couldn't take it anymore and have all decided to check out early. So I am the only one left. My supplies are exhausted, and in all honesty, I no longer have the will to carry on. I did one last thing, though. I mustered the courage to go to the patient cells and put them in body bags. That was the least I could do for them. After all, they were the ones who got the bad end of the deal. Somehow, right when the facility went into lockdown, I had a feeling that it would eventually come to this, but I still had the tiniest shred of hope that I would see the light of day again. And that I could quit Revival, finally start a family, and have a kid or two. But unfortunately, that dream will die in somber darkness. In this meager time which I have left, my regrets lie within these pages. And I hope that someone will use them to bring justice to Revival who have escaped from it for too long. Power Room is the place where I'll do it. Where I'll finally wake up from my torturing nightmare. This is my farewell to you, who cared enough to read through these pages. My dying wish is that what happened here and what we went through is never forgotten. The future of this story is now in your hands. Goodbye. Michael Okerell.
Okay, wait. John, please don't go. Hear me out. Please, just unlock the door.
I think you'll be comfortable here for a nice long time, Ethan. All right, let's get this fixed. There, that should do. Now let's see who's out there. This is Pine Tree Island. Does anyone copy? Hello, this is Pine Tree Island. Does anyone read me? Is anyone out there? Anyone? Please, this is an emergency! Huh? What's this?
Attention, this is Revival's emergency system. Your emergency transmission was already sent. Revival is aware of the situation. Please do not broadcast the signal again. An evacuation transport is on its way. This radio equipment will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
No. No. Shit. That was my last chance to escape from Revival. How the hell do they already know what was going on? Fuck. What do I do now?
Why did you lock up my partner, John? How rude. And did you actually try to call for help on that radio?
John, I told you the only signal you'd ever get on that radio would be from Revival. Oh, and thank you, Daisy, for letting me out.
You do know that contacting outsiders during secret research is high treason against the company, right?
I'm afraid it's no longer optional to keep you alive, John.
Right. So you two are teaming up against me. I do admit, you two make a really good team, honestly. Despite the fact that one of you is trying to turn against the other. Isn't it right, Ethan?
What's he talking about?
What an act, John. Don't listen to that liar. He's trying to divide us and create a diversion.
Of course, Ethan. Of course I'm lying. Why on earth would you want to ditch Daisy to work with me? It's not like you didn't beg to let you out, just so we could team up against her.
Is this true?
What? No, of course not. You really believe that nonsense he's spitting out? Give me a break.
Well, all the proof was up there, where one can see everything. The emergency system. When I turned on the power to the radio, the emergency system did too, automatically locking the radio system to a specific frequency. When it connected, it showed a message, saying that it had already been used to send an emergency signal. Now, it is possible that poor Mark was the one who tried to send the emergency signal first, but I feel like that wasn't the case. I think one of you might know better. But if it was really Ethan, then wow, Ethan lost confidence in Daisy really quick.
Shut up! Daisy, let's not waste our time with this. If we want to kill him, we have to do it before they arrive. Daisy?
You didn't have faith in me?
What? No! I have faith in you. I've always had faith in you.
You got scared. and you lost faith in me.
That's not true.
You couldn't handle what was going on. Do you believe something is not right with me?
I think you're fine. There's nothing wrong.
Your actions speak otherwise. I see. That's why you didn't kill him down there right away. It all makes sense now.
Daisy, listen.
Do you know how it feels? When someone betrays you? When someone turns their back against you? Not caring at all for you?
Come on, stop it. Where is this even coming from? Remember what we're assigned here for. We're supposed to work together.
All my life, I've been pushed around and used like a doll. It was so hard for me to change. I always lacked self-confidence and strength. But now it's different. I feel like I've broken free from the chains that kept me tied down for so long. For the first time in my life, I feel alive.
Daisy, please, think about this.
I'm in charge, you understand me? I fight for myself, and I will not let anyone push me aside ever again. Ever! Those who do, stand in my way and let me down.